My people, this is ShowBizz.
Blue 42! Blue 42! Say it, man!
We've got
merch. So for all of my show business partners out there, I know a lot of you guys know about that video I put out about me having the #1 pick and how I hate that pick and how stressful it was. I didn't know if I wanted Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, but good luck. A new team was added to our fantasy football league, and they had to recalculate the draft, giving me the 5th pick. Yeah! I love the 5th pick because I can pick right in the middle. When it snakes back, I can have the same pick. I know what pick I'm getting every round. But then they added another team to the fantasy league, recalculated the draft, and then I had the 10th pick. No! One of y'all cheating. But the good thing about the 10th pick is, once it snakes back, you have the first pick of the next round. So your picks are back to back. So here's what I did with the 10th and final pick of the draft. All of you fantasy football owners, maybe you can take this as advice, or you can give me some advice. So here's my first pick at pick 10. I picked Melvin Gordon. That's right, Melvin Gordon, he was still there. Why? Because he's holding out. So we don't know when they're going to really agree. It could be later in the season, so people stayed away from Melvin Gordon. Though Melvin Gordon otherwise is the top 5 running back. Here's a fun fact you guys may not know about ShowBizz the adult. I know Melvin Gordon. That's right, I grew up with him. He's from the block. I used to throw the football with Melvin Gordon when he was a little cat. So Melvin Gordon, I know you're trying to get that money. But for the sake of my fantasy football team, sign the contract. Sign the contract, Melvin. So for my second pick, like I said, I had the picks back to back. I picked up Odell Beckham Jr. In Cleveland, there's a lot of weapons out there, okay? Baker Mayfield, he's one hell of a quarterback. They got Nick Chubbs back there as running back. They're doing some great things out in Cleveland. So I picked up Odell Beckham. I know he hasn't been producing the last couple of years, but you know why. And that guy is still a top wide receiver in the league, definitely. So I picked up Odell Beckham because, look, my next pick wasn't going to be for a while. Now, for my third pick, I picked up Mark Ingram. That's right, he was still there. Mark Ingram, I'm a Saints fan, so I know what Mark Ingram does. And Mark Ingram went on to the Ravens, who has a run-first offense with a great offensive line. Even their quarterback is run-first. So I'm expecting a lot of handoffs to Mark Ingram, especially in the red zone. But I want to say this as a bit of an asterisk. Leonard Fournette was picked up right before my pick when I picked Mark Ingram. I was going to pick Mark Ingram, but I have that back-to-back pick. I know Leonard Fournette, he lost some weight. He's feeling real optimistic about his year. Leonard Fournette, in my opinion, is still a beast. Jacksonville, they're running that ball. In the preseason, you saw them throwing the ball to Leonard Fournette. So I'm thinking Leonard Fournette is going to have a very productive year. If Leonard Fournette falls down there for your third pick, I think you should pick him up. But he wasn't there. So I picked up Mark Ingram, and after Mark Ingram, I picked up Marlon Mack with my fourth pick. The reason why is because the Colts got an epic offensive line, and I know Andrew Luck isn't there. He's retired. So the defense, they're going to pin their ears back, and they're going to focus on Marlon Mack. But I think he's going to get a lot of touches because Luck is retired. So I went with Marlon Mack. So at pick 5, I picked up DJ Moore. Look, I like how they use him, man. He's one of those all around, you can utilize in many different ways in that offense. I like DJ Moore. I went with DJ Moore for my 5th pick. And don't forget, my picks are back to back. So for my 6th pick, I went with Baker Mayfield. I figured that since it's going to be another century before I get a pick after my 6th pick, I might as well grab my quarterback. And I usually get my quarterbacks later than that, but I went with Baker Mayfield, thinking the 1-2 punch of having Baker Mayfield paired up with my Odell Beckham is going to be a good look. And I think the Cleveland Browns, with all of that talent, they're going to be a very sexy team this year. And grabbing the ball, holding the ball every snap is Baker Mayfield. And I think he's one hell of a quarterback. So for my 6th pick, I picked up Baker Mayfield. So for my 7th pick, this may make you guys frown a bit, but defense wins games, offense sells tickets. I went with the Bears defense for my 7th pick, baby. Ah! Hey, Chicago Bears got the best defense in the league, in my opinion. So I just wanted to solidify something that was the best in the draft. And for my 8th pick, I went with my tight end, Vance McDonald out of Pittsburgh. That big weapon, Antonio Brown, he's gone. Le'Veon Bell, he's not there. Vance McDonald, more touches from a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Big Ben. Then, of course, after that, I start drafting for my bench. I picked up the kicker, New England, Gostowski. I picked up a 2nd-string quarterback, which is Drew Brees. He was still there, so I picked him up just in case. I picked up a few things, but my favorite pick of the draft was my final pick, and that was Peyton Barber. I couldn't believe that guy was still there for me to get potentially the starting running back for the Bucks as my final pick. I think I did pretty well. So let me know what you all think about my fantasy football team. How did you guys do in your fantasy draft? And ShowBizz the dope. I don't know. I may have to do some trades. I got Drew Brees. I'm out.
Boxing. What's better? All boxing.